So far, we have used abstraction to get rid of bits that we didn't need when we were making our paper planes for the unplugged activity. And then we have used decomposition, which is breaking it down into smaller chunks when we're doing our. You can hear the little kids, baby cats, and making a lot of noise. Yeah. So what we're going to do next? What we're going to do next is we've used loops, and what we're going to do is we're going to use make a timer next. So I'm going to load from my computer. Remember, that's what we do. And that was the last one I did. Yours will be a little bit different. Okay, so we've got the target. We've used loops before. We've got costumes. And actually, the target, I didn't make the target follow the mouse cursor. So that's decomposition. I'm breaking it down into small little problems. You can, if you want, rename the sprite as well if it makes it easier for you. The target. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut the window because it's noisy. Sorry. What I'm going to do is, the problem in real life is I want the target there to follow the mouse pointer, and I want it to do it all through the game. So I hope you're thinking about what kind of pieces of code you need to go in. So it is go to, not glide, which we used when we were getting the unhealthy snack. Go to the mouse pointer. Okay. Now that tells the sprite to go to this mouse pointer. You see the little arrow? Now I need to do that for the whole of the game. So put forever. I hope you're thinking now, what else do I need to do? I need to start it, which is always when and I think that's it. Let's see if that works. Forever, go to mouse pointer when the game is clicked. There it is. And it works. Okay. There you go. Whoosh. Doesn't seem very random. Now it's moving more random way. Remember what we do, we make sure that we get the unhealthy snack. I'm just going to call it the food. Do it as capitals. Alright, we got the food, and we make sure that everything is working perfectly on that before we duplicate them. Right, so that's the target done. So the next thing that I was going to do is I want to make a timer. Okay, so in science you use variables all the time. So can you think of any variables that you use, things that will change in a science experiment? So it might be the time would change, the score would change, the temperature would change. Any of these things you can kind of give normally a numerical value, but not always. The amount of liquid you use, the type of liquid you use. And in computing, it's a similar thing. It's just something that changes. So you can see here, we've got to create a variable. You probably will remember it from last year when you used them doing your year 5 one. Okay, so you make a variable. And the same thing as we did last year, we make a timer. And can you see in the corner of the square, it's popped it up there. So we've got to think what we've got to do with this timer, right? So what we need to do is we set the time. Okay. And I'm doing this on the stage, if you notice. Can you see the stage is blue? So I set not my variable, set the timer. I'm just going to set it while I'm practicing and seeing if it works to 5. Okay. So I'll set it to 5. You'll give them more time than this, obviously. Now, then what I need to do is to think about, I'm going to use a repeat, and because I've set the timer to 5, I'm going to repeat it 5 times. If you set the timer to 30, you would repeat it 30 times. Okay, so that's there. Now then, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away 1 each time for these 5 seconds. Right, so that is in the, I think it's in the operators. No, I'm thinking now, what is it in? Is it in the controls? Yeah. Oh, I'll need this as well later on, so I'm going to put that there as a bit of a clue. So I want to change the variable, see what this does. Okay, change the variable by 1. Now that doesn't match that. We need to check that that's the same as that all the time. And then I'm going to go, obviously, when the game starts at the top. Now then, using trial and error, I've changed a lot of things there. Let's go line by line of the code. When the flag starts, you set the timer to 5, and it'll set it there. Then I'm going to repeat 5 times, change the timer by 1. So let's see what that does. I know it's not going to work properly, but let's see. Okay, so what happened there? You got to think what's gone on there. So we've set the timer to 10. And it's repeated 5 times, and it's changed it by 1. Now, what has it done 5 times? It has. We've changed it by +1, so I need to put a -1 in and see what happens then. See if it works. So at the moment it's 10. It should set it to 5, and then hopefully 1 will be taken away. Right. You might have seen that. Look at the new number at the side of the timer. It's going so quick that's what's the problem with. So this is why I put this here. So what it's doing, it's changing it by -1 so quickly 5 times that it goes to 0 in the blink of an eye. So I need to tell it to wait. And there, let's start again. And there we go. And 1. Now what's happened is nothing really happens. So the next thing I'm going to think about, and I'll make it on the next video, is I'm going to stop the game when the timer gets to 0. Okay, but for now, I'm going to save my work. Week 2, now week 3. And remove the dot there. Sometimes if you remove the dot, like dot JPEG and things like that, the computer doesn't know what kind of a document it is, what kind of a file, and save it. All right, so I hope you make use of that.